Welcome to another installment of Cohort
1986.
Today we have a special edition. And first, I'm the co-host, Rodney.
And I'm Candace.
And Candace, I want you to introduce our esteemed guest today.
Oh my God. Where do I start it? So we have Stanley and Stephanie Clowney. So I don't want to give you guys my age or anything, but I have been knowing these two for years. Okay, years. Like I'm not even gonna get into that. But I just want to say I'm really thankful to have them here today. I'm grateful to have them here today. Today we are going to talk about financial literacy and credit repair. This is something that is needed. Sometimes we don't always get these nuggets at home.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have to learn these lessons the hard way or either later on in life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're here today. But I do want to say a couple of other things about Stanley and Stephanie today. They are one of the reasons why we started this podcast.
Yes.
This has been something that I've been thinking about doing for years. And they've always been like, Candace, you need to do this. And I'm like, okay. And Candace, you need to do this. Okay.
So basically she downplays herself. Can y'all agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
Candy has the juice.
Yeah, thank you.
We just have to squeeze it out of her. We're gonna get it out of her.
Well, I really appreciate you guys. I mean, not only are they friends, they are family.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the reasons why I wanted them to come on and talk about financial literacy and credit repair, because I've seen it firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
The work that they've done, not only with our credit,
The credit of others as well.
Credit of others, and I've seen it with my own eyes. And that's where that credibility comes in. We have a lot of people out here talking about credit repair. We have a lot of people talking about businesses, starting businesses, doing businesses, but I've seen them do it. So they are the owners of New Generation Investment Group. They have First Fresh Seafood on Main. They are business consultants. They're business coaches. And I'm probably forgetting some stuff. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to these guys to introduce themselves and also to tell you guys about, their journey and how they got here.
Stanley?
Okay, I'll start.
Okay, go ahead, girl.
I'm Stephanie Clowney. I'm a life coach, entrepreneur, credit repair specialist. By day, I'm your favorite elementary bookkeeper. So I have a lot of different titles. I also have a work from home call center as well called Era Global Communications.
Told you I forgot some stuff.
And I help him with a lot of his businesses also, but I'll let him introduce his.
Okay. I told y'all I forgot some stuff. So look, hit them with it. What all you got going on over there, brother?
Oh man, we got a lot going on. First off, my name is Stanley Clowney Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit about my background and how we get here. So just to be honest with everyone, where we at in life was very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And we went through a lot to even get to this point. And that's why I think that a lot of people fail to understand when you become an entrepreneur, you get into business, self-employment, working for yourself, like it's hard. It's very hard. It's a lot of trials and tribulations. But just to give you guys a little bit about my background, I'm not college educated, didn't have a high school diploma. But God is good.
Yes, he is.
I will start in 2007. I was indicted on a federal conspiracy drug charge in 2007. I received a 10-year sentence. I was 30 years old. It was my it's my 30th birthday when I was indicted. So for me at that time, I felt that life was over. Pretty much that's what I'd done majority of my teenage years until I was 30 years old.
Yeah.
And like I said, got indicted in 2007.
Yeah.
It was then when I decided that I needed to change my life.
Right.
I needed to make some drastic changes. At the time, I had 2 children, one 10, one 9, son and a daughter.
Yeah.
Me and my wife now, we had just met maybe a year and a half before I got indicted.
So basically, you were dating 2 people. I heard at one point, right? right there.
We're not gonna get off. It was just a lot of turbulence in my life. But my wife, man, I mean, she held it down. She had my back, and everybody say I'm the CEO, but not she the boss.
Yeah,
so I'm the CEO, but she's the boss. Everything is ran by her before I make a move. But moving along, that's why I educated myself in the federal prison system. I went on to get my high school diploma while I was in.
Yep.
I started Vance Granville Community College, where I studied logistics. Just trying to better myself, always hungry for information. It wasn't until 2009 when I really found my calling, because I was lost. I did not know. In 2009, I come across a book called The Technical and Fundamental Analysis of the Stock Market. And I started reading that book, and it was like a light bulb went off. And from that moment on, I spent the next 8 years of my life studying the financial market and just studying stocks. And she can tell you, like, I used to bug her every day. Hey, look, I need this information. And I mean, she would send me packets in, man. They would be so heavy. It was ridiculous. I would get all type of paperwork and just information on stocks. And I would actually chart the stocks. In 2012, I began to do live trading. So, my wife set up me a brokerage account, and I would make my trades, from prison. And that's where it all started for me. And that's what really got me into finance, into investing, into credit, just learning the business side of things, and just want to do something different when I came home. So I made the transition in 2015. Thank God. February the 11th of 2015, I went to a halfway house in Columbia, South Carolina, Austin Wilkes. I spent 6 months in the halfway house. Say I came home with $200 cash, at $200 liquid cash. Had built up a little bit in my brokerage account. Wasn't much, but built up a little bit of equity in my brokerage account that I traded. But I knew I wanted to start a business. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to work for myself. I knew I didn't want to work for someone. So rules were we had to have a job. I went out, found employment at Amazon Distribution Center. I was a warehouse worker for 6 months. I worked there from February 11th to August 27th, the day I got out the halfway house. I stayed there 6 months. Long story short, the day August 27th, when I left the halfway house, I was offered a supervisor position at Amazon.
Wow.
Yes. So I had to make a serious choice.
Right.
Entrepreneurship and working for myself, or becoming a supervisor and taking that position job. And, I had a family, I had kids. So it was a huge decision that me and my wife had to make at that time. Needless to say, I took the harder route.
It wouldn't be you if you did.
And she supported me, man, 100%. She had my back. Those 6 months I was in the halfway house, this was the secret. I worked on my credit myself. I worked on my credit myself. So in those 6 months time, I brought my credit from like a 4 something to like a 620, 630.
Wow.
So on August the 27th, when I got the halfway house, I let Amazon know I won't be back. From that moment on, I joined the credit union with my 620, 630 credit score. I went and applied for loans. And next thing I know, I was in business.
Mm-hmm.
I opened my first fresh seafood market / restaurant. We opened it November 21st of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So we started there. That was the foundation for us in getting into entrepreneurship. We made a lot of mistakes.
Hey, man, look, everybody makes mistakes all the time in their own business in the beginning.
And I will say, Stanley, I really appreciate you being so transparent about, where you started from. And this is a message for anyone that's coming home from prison, that you have the ability to take control of your life. You have the ability to change, and you can do it. You have examples that are out here. All you have to do is want it for yourself. So thank you for sharing that and sharing the background. So another question for you guys. So where are you from? What were some of your inspirations growing up?
For me, I'm originally from Haiti. So my background is basically everyone in my family is actually entrepreneurs. Like growing up, I never, I didn't see someone going to clock in for someone else. I never got to experience that. I would go to school. My dad would pick me up. Then we would go back to his store and he would tell me, hey, this is what needs to be done. This is what you have to do. And you have people working for you. This is the process. So when I got older, my goal was, okay, I know for a fact I'm not going to be working for someone for the rest of my life. That wasn't my goal. That's why I was very strategic as far as like who became my husband, right? Because it matters who you partner with, because they have to have that same vision. If not, my purpose in life probably wouldn't be as far as I am now, because I wouldn't have that additional push that I get from him.
Right.
Stanley?
I'm originally from Union, South Carolina. I'm a country boy. Me and my mom, we moved around a bit. We lived some in Carlisle, South Carolina, Lockhart, South Carolina, and ended up in Union, South Carolina. I'm from a single parent home. My mom pretty much was mom and dad. I watched my mom really struggle, coming up, as a young child. We moved into what you would consider projects, and I thought we had hit it big, So it was I didn't really reunite with my dad until I was maybe 12-ish, 13-ish. When you was a little boy, want to know who his father is. So, that's when I started hanging around my father. But I often say my mom, she taught me how to live, but my father taught me how to survive.
Oh, wow.
So that's my upbringing.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for sharing that. We're going to jump into financial literacy right now. How do you guys define financial literacy?
For me, it's having the freedom to do whatever you want to do, right? It's to be able to live life on your terms.
Right.
Like if I want to do something, I want to be able to do it. I don't want to look at my time and be like, well, you know what? I don't have the funds, or I have to request time off, which even now I have to request time off, but I'm very strategic. Like I plan the stuff. And we have the ability now to actually go places that we want to go. We don't have to worry about where's the money coming from. It's what you do with the money, to me.
Got you.
Perfect.
For me, financial literacy is very important. Just doing a lot of studying and seeing where we are as a community as a whole, and just looking at the overall global economy, economics, financial literacy it's a burden on our economy because we don't educate our kids early enough. So, the norm, when you get out of school, you got three options. You're going to college, you're going to get a job, or you're going to the military. That's how it was taught to me.
Yeah.
We wasn't taught how to balance a checkbook. We wasn't taught about credit, insurance. Those are the things that we have to change. We have to change that narrative and starting in our household first.
Right.
And that's what financial literacy really means to me.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. So we're going to turn it over to Stanley so he can get us. So where do we start at?
For me, financial literacy, where I like to start is I start with credit. Most people, when they teach financial literacy, they like to start with savings. I hate savings. I'm just going to be honest. I hate savings. Savings to me is like money under the mattress. So we try to find creative ways to put capital, to use. We look for yield, we look for high returns, on our investments. So I like to start with credit. I teach a financial literacy class, and I teach 3 parts to my financial literacy class. First is credit. Okay. And then investing, and then asset protection. And like I said, I start with credit because in order to basically do anything in life, you have to have good credit. Whether you're purchasing an automobile, you're purchasing a new home, you're trying to insure your automobile, you're trying to insure yourself. Everything revolves around the credit system. So we have to start there with understanding credit. A lot of people think, hey, well, I got an 800 credit score, I got good credit. No, not necessarily. I've seen people with 800 credit scores get denied for auto loans, because their credit file wasn't structured properly. They had the score, but they didn't have the trade lines. So that's why we start with credit. And I often give people the example of making $20 an hour. Today's time, coming out of high school, you're making $20 an hour. That's good money for the average, person coming out of school or whatever. You work a minimum of 40 hours a week. You're making $800 a week. Not bad money. But once you really break that number down, $20 an hour, 40 hours a week, $800 a week, you have 52 weeks in a year, roughly $41,000 a year. Statistics say you're below the threshold. That's poverty. The average median income for middle class is $100,000 to $499,000. So you have to look at things like that. $40,000 by the time you go purchase a house, you can't even buy a new car. That brand new Honda Accord is $30,000 right now in 2021. So that's how we have to change the way we think in order to tackle, the financial literacy, that we've been plagued with for generations. Also with credit, we just teach you how to really leverage capital, how to put it to work, and that's when we start going into the investment side. Once you can secure the bag, now you have to learn, what do I put the bag in? What do I invest in? Like I say, savings, you can put, $50,000 in the bank. No interest is being made on that money. So you need to figure out, what can I place, my capital to create those high yields, or at least, maximize that capital that you leverage from credit. You have entrepreneurship, we touch on that. Real estate investing is always great. The real estate market is booming right now. I think the market right now is more buyers than it is sellers. So definitely the real estate market is golden, and then you have to look at it from the perspective where you're actually building equity, investment. Would you rather have $200,000 house you're making an $800-900 a month mortgage payment, or would you rather have a $200,000 house that you're leasing or renting, and you're paying $1,600 to $1,800 a month. So you have to look at stuff like that. We also teach the financial market, investing in stocks, commodities, and we do a lot of trading and stuff like that, and savings. I have to touch on savings because some people are not built for entrepreneurship, and that's fine. So you may want to leverage your credit to get capital to put into savings. Like building CD accounts out, maybe bill reduction to put yourself in a better financial situation. So that's what the investing part come in. And then once we learn how to invest that capital, we have to protect the investment. Because we see a lot of people, especially in our community, the Black community, they come into this money, and a year later it's gone. Because we're not educating how to protect the bag. We get the bag, but then we don't know how to protect the bag. I mean, you can look at from even athletes, entertainers, in the limelight, they look very wealthy. And when they expire, everyone is running around, oh my God, he didn't have this and he didn't have that and he lost this. So, asset protection is probably the most important of the three. Really learning how to protect your investment and you're securing your capital, just selecting the correct structure of your businesses, for tax purposes, how to get the highest deductions, stuff like that. I mean, it's very important. Like I always tell people, even if you're not an entrepreneur, like it's ways that you can access those extra tax deductions, even just starting a family trust at home. Start a family trust. A lot of people don't know these types of things. You can sit down with your spouse or significant other or your kids. That's a business entity. Once you put it on paper and legalize it with your state, now that allows you for certain deductions you wouldn't get on the personal side. Think about it. The average person that's making that $20 an hour, that's making that $41,000 a year, guess what? They pay more taxes than I do. And I own several businesses because I move as a corporation. I don't move on the personal side. So things like that, you have to really educate yourself, man, and put yourself around the right people to get that information. Learning how to set up, like your master limited partnerships if you are in business and stuff like that. So those are the type of things that we cover. Having your holding companies, learning how to borrow from one financial institution, but do business with another financial institution, not commingling the funds. And most importantly, we teach generational wealth transfer, and that is done through insurance. Once you acquire all of these accolades and investments in this capital, you have to insure it. Insuring your personal self, especially if you have children, you have offspring, you have to insure yourself, insure your body, insure that entity first. You don't want to leave people in debt, after you're gone. In that $200,000 house, you want to have enough insurance that can cover, everything. Well, that significant other spouse or your children can be set for the next generation and the next generation. So that's basically kind of in a nutshell, not getting into depth of strategy and stuff like that of what I teach in my financial literacy program.
So I want to go back to what you said earlier. You mentioned somebody with an 800 credit score and can't get a loan for a vehicle. How would you build somebody's credit portfolio and profile enough so that they can leverage their good credit?
Okay. So basically what we do, we always say that we like to have the keys to the vault before we go to the bank. And in today's society, it's too much technology to lack thereof.
Correct.
We're past, hey, let me go put in the application for this auto, and you're sitting in the bank and you're like, you got your fingers crossed and your toes crossed. I've been there. You man, I hope this thing get approved. I hope this thing get approved. And they're shooting your application to 10, 15, 20 different places trying to get you approved. We're out of that phase now. You know, and that's what we're trying to educate people, man. We're way past that phase. Now we go to the banks with the keys to the vault. You know, we tell the loan officer, hey, look, this is what I'm looking for. This is the APR I'm looking for. This is the payment I'm looking for. Right. So with that credit file, we work in reverse. So we deal strategically with the loan officers, with the underwriters. Hey, I call these guys. I research. Right. Hey, look, what bureau do you guys pull? What score are you looking for? So we take this information and then we structure that profile to give them exactly what they're looking for. Yeah. So once we send a client into the bank for that mortgage or for that auto or for that personal loan, a business loan, we already know they're approved.
Yeah.
So that's how we structure, you know, that credit profile. Structure is most important.
Yeah, and that's really important because, you know, when people go and fill out these applications, they do get like bounce and bounce and bounce. You know, before you know it, you'll have 20, 30, 35, 100 inquiries on your credit. So I know you guys also do some things with credit repair. So can you guys tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, basically we started New Generation Investment Group, and it covers the financial literacy part, but the part that I come in at is the credit repair part. And basically what I do is it's a partnership, right, between me and the client. And I always tell them that, because while I'm reviewing your credit file, there's going to be some stuff on there that I'm going to see. And I need you to actually do what I tell you to do. Because no, for real, like a lot of people think they can just hire a credit specialist and they just wipe everything off. And again, some people do that, but what do you learn in the process, right? Like, how do you stop from messing it up all over again?
Right.
And I've had it done where before someone paid us, but when it came down to give me the information that I needed, they didn't give it to me. So guess what I did? I refunded the money, because at the end of the day, I don't want your money just to keep your money.
That's,
you know, if I can help you, what's the point of that? So once they realize that it's a partnership, then I review the credit file. If for any reason I see that they're missing some stuff, because as I'm removing the negative items, the score is going to drop. But in order to stop it from dropping, we have to add positive accounts.
Right.
So at that point, I might tell them, hey, you guys need to do this, you need to do that. And we give them like a monthly success plan. So not only do we review your credit file for you, we dispute on your behalf, but every single month, you're going to get a monthly success plan. Because a lot of people don't know how to read the credit file. And sometimes it's not the fact that you have bad credit. It could be where one of our clients, he had a lot of inquiries. I think he had like maybe 29 inquiries.
Wow.
Right. And on his credit file, the company that he's with, they reported some wrong information. So all we have to do is tell him, hey, call this company, update this information. And then once we remove the inquiries, he went from low 6 to a high 7.
740.
Wow.
Yeah, within like a month. So that's one example of how we do our credit repair. It's more like teamwork. So I need to be able to work with you. You need to be able to take feedback. In the process, we teach you how to fix it and how to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Stephanie, so what is the typical turnaround time for working with you guys? Like, does it vary upon what your credit score looks like, or how does it
varies?
Yeah,
it varies. So the average time frame can be anywhere from 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
That's the average time frame. A lot of time, people come to us with a 400 score. They're like, "Hey, I need to be at 700 in like a month." Wrong company.
God.
Because I mean, we don't perform miracles, right? Like, how long did it take to mess it up? Let's be real. How long did it take? It took you a couple of years. So the fix it's not gonna take. It's not an overnight success with everything that you do.
Right.
And I think that's very important because, you know, people get these credit card offers all day long, or you go to the store and it's like, oh, you can save 10, 15% today if you apply for a card. Or, you know, it's just like all this stuff just keeps coming, whether it's in the mail, whether it's in the store. And, you know, can you guys talk a little bit about, you know, people have these credit cards, right? So is it good to have a lot of credit cards? You know, is it good to have a big balance?
Or do you want like kind of like pay a balance down by a certain time a month? Like, how does that work?
So when you're dealing with those credit cards, I always say stay away. You have to understand structuring that credit profile is more important than the credit score itself.
Wow.
You want to have a balance of things on your credit file, you know, from installment accounts, revolving accounts. You just don't want to have all revolving credit card accounts. And with those balances, you want to try to keep those below that 30% threshold,
right?
And paying them off. I like to say 10 days prior to the due date. So if your balance, if your due date is on the 20th, I like to set it where it pays it on the 10th, because what happens, it makes you look like, hey, well, I have credit, but I really don't need credit.
Right.
And they really give you those high limit cards, and they really, you know, try to put credit on you. Another thing you asked, Candice, was how many accounts. A thin file would be considered 1 or 2 trade lines.
Okay.
You know, it's hard for a lender to really determine whether you're credit worthy if you only have 1 or 2 trade lines on your credit profile. So that's how these lenders determine your credit worthiness, is from your credit profile. And in order to have a credit profile, you have to have accounts, which we call trade lines.
Right.
So like I said, you just want to have a diverse set of trade lines on your account, but you want to try to keep those balances low. So, you know, when you do need to do stuff pertaining around credit, you can, without thinking, you can access that capital and put that capital to work.
That's a good point, Stanley. So, you know, you guys have given us, you know, 3 gems, guys. I hope you guys caught these. You know, 1, you can open a trust. 2, with these inquiries, you want to be careful. 3, you know, you want to make sure you have a diverse credit profile. Okay, so your credit profile encompasses everything. It's not just, you know, you paying your bills on time. It's not just your credit card. All of these things are together, people. I want you guys to catch that point.
Stanley, I have a question for you. So you're known to me as the stock man. So if I'm a young 25-year-old man and I want to get into stocks, what advice would you give to me? And like, if I wanted to be a day trader, how would that work?
My advice to people dealing with stocks is run. I try to be as honest with people because my inbox stay full. But now the stock market, cryptocurrency, Forex, it's the hot topic.
Yeah,
like it's very hot. You cannot scroll through social media without finding somebody trying to solicit you some type of alert.
Bitcoin, everything.
Exactly. It's just become a hot topic. And the reason why I say that is because, number one, that's when I see who's really serious. He said, "Run, I'm not gonna mess with it." So, you know, I mean, it's the truth, because you'll find yourself, man, just talking to just an empty hole, and you're just talking, and you give people advice, and you know, you never hear from them again. Yeah. So I just try to limit those conversations with stocks. So my advice would be, if they're serious about investing, number one, educate yourself. Don't depend on an alert service, somebody texting your phone, hey, investing does what we consider herd trading. Like prime example, when GameStop, ticker GME, stock was trading around 10 to 12 bucks, something like that. You know, they tweeted about it, whatever have you. Bunch of people jumped in. They herd traded. When a lot of people come in, you soak up that float, so it increases the price, the share price on that particular stock, and it just went bananas. You know, I think it reached almost 300 bucks. You know, in a matter of weeks. But while that stock was doing that, if you go back and check my receipts, I was already holding a short position in that stock. So I was anticipating this herd to get slaughtered. Right. So as the stock was coming down and that herd got slaughtered, guess what? I made money. A lot of people lost fortunes from that particular trade. So like I say, first, I would definitely educate myself. You don't have to be a technical analysis, fundamental trader, but at least get a, you know, just a broad understanding of what makes the financial market tick. That's educating yourself. Put yourself in groups, man. Social media has a lot of good stock groups. You just have to really network and find people that are honest, not trying to steal your money, take your money, stuff like that. And just the things that you learn from people, don't mirror trade. Don't follow the herd. Invest in stuff that you're passionate about. Invest in stuff that you know about. If you love Air Jordan tennis shoes, hey, guess what? Invest in retail stocks. Invest in Nike. If you love Adidas, find out who's the parent company of Adidas. Get that ticker. Invest in stuff that you know. If you love makeup, if you love food, you know, Darden Industries is booming right now. If you love Olive Garden and Red Lobster and Applebee's, like invest in stuff that you know about. If you love social media, you got Snapchat. If you love to travel, you know, Airbnb is on the prime of booming right now when the economy slowly opens back up. So, you know, you just have to think out the box and don't follow people, you know, do your own thing. Invest in stuff that you're passionate about. As far as day trading, Rodney, I don't recommend it. Most day traders, you have to have a minimum of $25,000 in the account, even day trade. A lot of people lose money day trading. Just gonna be honest with you.
That's a good question.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people get a misconception. Most brokerage company will allow you 3 day trades per month, every 30 days, where they don't penalize you. But after that third trade, they will penalize you and lock you out of your account for a limited, for some time. So you just have to be careful, man. Like I say, just invest in stuff that you're knowledgeable about.
Gotcha.
That's a great question. So we do have some questions from the audience and some stuff that was sent in just around credit repair. Can you guys tell us a little bit about your services, what you offer? We've also had some questions about costs. You know, do you guys do classes? Do you do workshops? You know, what are some of your offerings?
So the one thing that we're going to start doing, we're going to go live, of course, on Facebook, YouTube, on different subjects.
Nice.
Wednesdays.
Well, Wednesdays. Start on March the 3rd.
Yeah, March the 3rd, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. The other thing, when it comes to prices, of course, we have different packages. Yeah. Everyone can go on our website, which is www.newgenerationinvestmentgroup.com. Okay. On there, it will go over the credit repair package, the business consulting. Because again, a lot of people, they may not need credit repair, right? A lot of people may just need help on how to read their credit file. Well, we have a package on that where you'll have us for 30 minutes. And we will break down your credit file for you, and we will build you a monthly success plan. Okay. And if you want us to just keep building you a monthly success plan, at that time, once they get that package, then we will tell them, okay, this is how much it's going to be going forward. So if we try to custom made our plan, it's not one plan fits all because everybody's background is different.
Right. Nice. And I know you guys have a group on Facebook as well. So how can people join that group that you guys have on Facebook?
All they have to do is the Credit Repair.
New Generation, that's our business page, New Generation Investment Group. We also have a private group where we discuss finance and credit and stuff like that, where people can actually ask questions. And we try to connect them with real estate agents, brokers, loan officers is in the group. They're in there. If you ask the questions, they will show up and answer your questions. The name of the group is the Credit Group Credit Secrets. We drop a lot of gems in there. We don't charge to be in the group. Again, it is called the Credit Group Credit Secrets. Join that group.
Nice.
We are a new group, but like I say, we do drop a lot of gems in there, and it's a lot of people in that network that can really help people. I know one gem that we dropped was a 24-hour inquiry removal packet, and we actually sent it out for free.
Wow.
And a lot of people don't know that we paid $600 for that information. And it's simple information, but it works. I mean, inquiry removal is a huge deal in credit repair. Seriously, the average inquiry, depending on the age, can hold anywhere from low end, depending on the age, 3 up to 6+ points.
Wow.
And like I said, if you went and applied for an auto loan, you got 20 inquiries here. You apply for a couple of department cards. You got a card over here or personal loan. All of those are inquiries, and they stay on your credit file for 2 years. So if you can learn yourself how to remove those inquiries, imagine the boost in your credit score just from simple stuff like credit.
That's a really good point, and I'm gonna echo you here with run.
Also,
10% off, run.
Also, when is the class?
March. It's March 23rd.
Yeah, March the 23rd.
Okay.
Sign up for that credit inquiry class. We're going to teach you how to remove credit inquiries, and we're going to teach you how to create residual income from turning it into a business.
Wow.
Like, it is seriously, like it's the simple things that make the most money. You can do it in your spare time. You got friends, you got family, you got co-workers. Hey, look, I have an inquiry removal business. Some people can be on the brink of closing on a mortgage or trying to get a loan, a car, but they have too many inquiries, and the underwriter may be like, hey, well, we need to get those inquiries below 3. Guess what? You can get paid to help those people. A lot of people charge anywhere from $25 per inquiry on up. I've seen people charge
$600 to just
remove inquiries. You know, if you have the same inquiry, you have one inquiry on your Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Guess what? That's 25. You just made $75 to remove that one inquiry from those 3 credit profiles. So we're going to teach in that class how to utilize properly that packet, the 12-hour inquiry removal, and we're going to teach you how to turn it into a business and create a stream of revenue from it.
So guys, you go ahead, Stephanie.
I was going to say, a lot of people feel that they need to have a big business, right? But no, sometimes you just have to start charging for your knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Because we love to give free information, but everything costs now.
You love money more like me.
Like when we reach out to people, since we've been in business the last 6 years, we have been paying for every single thing.
And nobody give us nothing for free.
And no one give us anything for free. I think last year by itself, we spent a couple $1,000 on our businesses. So when we used to be the main one just giving free information. But at some point in time, you have to start charging your work because everything costs.
Yeah.
So that's how you can create that residual income. So it doesn't have to be a big business. You might know how to start a t-shirt line. Guess what? Start a business in that category. It can be something simple.
I agree.
I got you. So guys, I have a very important question.
Uh.
You guys do a lot. You do a lot. So how do you balance your work and your family life? And does it have any strains or anything like that? Like how does that work in your
Good
household?
Teamwork.
Good question. I think I'll start with that. So having multiple businesses, being an entrepreneur, my wife being a mompreneur, it's hard. You know, it is very, very hard. I'm not going to lie to you. The journey has definitely not been easy, but through determination, hard work, you know, living within our means.
Right.
I mean, literally living within our means, sometimes under our means.
Yep.
You know, getting the things that we need and not what we want at a time. You know, a lot of people ask, well, Stan, why don't you drive the nice Mercedes Benz if you teach financial literacy? Guess what? I get from A to B. Everything in my yard is paid for.
Yep.
You know, so you know, just living within your means, but most importantly, just keeping God first.
That's
that's our secret sauce. You know, we put God first. We put in the work. You know, we work as a team. Just to give you an example of teamwork, last year, maybe a year and some time ago, I was actually in one of my trucks. We actually have a trucking company, Metro Express Carriers. We started in 2018. So I was actually a driver in one of the trucks, and I was doing, you know, a lot of routes. And I just decided, hey, look, I'm getting out of the truck. You know, I've been in it long enough. We're going to keep the company rolling and, you know, bring on owner operators with their own vehicles. But I'm getting out the truck. So last year, I made it my business to get out of that truck. My wife took on a bookkeeping job at the time and at an elementary school. So now we dealing with COVID. We have 3 kids at home. 2 are homeschooling. So now I'm daddy daycare. So the role, you see, so the role reversed, but it takes teamwork. So now I'm at home, you know, homeschooling, pamper changing. I'm cooking breakfast. I'm doing the laundry. So Monday through Friday, I'm home, you know, but I make my coins by trading, you know, information, you know, that's how I make my money, you know, on a day-to-day basis. And Saturday, you know, my wife and the kids and my mom, you know, the family, we go to our restaurant and we open on Saturday. So now, you know, I work 1 day a week, basically. So
wow.
Yeah, it's a challenge to get to that point in life where, you know, I'm 43 years old, you know, I got my time back, you know, and I can say I literally work 1 day a week.
Nice
For myself.
Nice.
That part.
I'm trying to get like you guys. One day, Lord, one day.
Make the dream work.
And I will say this, right? A lot of people say they want relationship goals for when they look at other couples. This works for us. It may not work for everyone. Right? We don't try to be and we don't try to be anyone else, because what I love about it is where I fall, that's his strong suit. Where he falls, so it takes teamwork. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, we literally, before we do anything, we work with each other, we consult each other. But most importantly, I'm the kind of person, I'm like, babe, I want to do this new thing. I think we should do this.
She ready to go.
I did my research. I got everything mapped up. He was like, hold on. So he'll basically just, you know, ask for guidance from God. That's what he does. And he'll come back and tell me, okay, let's go. Let's do it. So it's not just like him working by himself and just doing it on his own. It doesn't work that way. And I think a lot of people miss what the real definition of marriage is.
That's it.
Right.
Like, we're best friends before we're business partners. We don't agree on everything when it comes to business. Trust me. But we can have disagreement and also go back to the norm. And when it comes to balancing our kids on Sundays, that's our time.
Yeah.
Right.
On Sundays, we listen to virtual church service.
Yeah.
We eat breakfast. We hang out with our kids. And I don't really answer my phone for anyone on Sundays.
That's right.
And then we make sure that throughout the week, we are sitting at the dinner table with our kids. We are spending time with them.
Yep.
So it's not like we're doing so much where they're lacking
Right.
with us being parents. Because I think we get on their nerves because we're like, hey, come hang out with us. Come do
watch
this.
a movie.
Come watch a movie. They're like, no.
I'm so glad that you guys were able to share that because, as entrepreneurs, you're doing this, you're running around, you're moving, but just to see that, we have a African-American family in which we're eating together, we're spending time together, we're installing those values inside of those kids. So I think you guys are awesome.
So I got a new business venture for you guys called the Clowney Calendar. And you just map people's days out. You guys get it right, man. I'm telling you, man. But one more question. Where do you guys see yourselves in your businesses in the next 5 years?
Wow.
I'm making you think now.
So for me, my goal for the longest has been for me to stop working for someone else at the age of 30. Well, I am now 35. So I told Stanley, I was like, look, I'm 5 years behind my goal. So I've extended that goal. By the time I turn 40, I don't want to clock anyone's time. I really want to spend time with my kids. And that's why we're creating these other businesses. But at the same time, we're not afraid to just keep going.
Right.
So the minute you stop going, that's when you failed in life. So the definition of success is to keep going because you never know what's going to happen. You never know if tomorrow is going to be your day. You don't know. So if you stop, how are you going to know? That's why it's important to just keep going. And our goal is to just go to the top. And we haven't even touched the surface yet. We're just getting started. And we've been in business for almost 6 years. So this is not an overnight success. We've gone through a lot.
And I would like to add, reiterate the 6 years. With all the businesses that we have, Fresh Seafood on Main, our restaurant, Aaron Global, the virtual call center, work from home positions, Metro Express Carriers, our trucking company, and now New Generation Investment Group. It took 6 years to get to this point.
Yeah.
But what's most importantly is in 6 years, we have finally got to a point where when we make a coin in those businesses, they are cash flow positive.
Nice.
So that's the key ingredient right there. It took 6 years to get to this point. Understand, I opened a restaurant 1 day a week. But when I open that door, soon as the register ring, we are cash flow positive.
Nice.
When one truck go out for delivery, it is cash flow positive.
Nice.
So each client we sign up with Credit Repair is cash flow positive. So that's what we're creating, starting with that foundation. And in the next 5 years, just where it actually take care of us, just really getting your time back. And that's what we're seeing happening now, where we're actually getting our time back. Where in the beginning, literally, I was working 5 days a week in the restaurant for 2.5 years. I was driving 3 hours, an hour and a half to the restaurant, hour and a half back home. For 2.5 years. I only missed 2 days from the restaurant.
Wow.
Only 2 days out of those 2.5, almost 3 years I did that. So now I don't have to do that anymore. So now I'm getting my time back.
Nice.
And slowly but surely, you get your time back. So that's why I see us in the next 5 years. My plan was by age 50, I'm 43, I was retiring. I'm not, seriously, I'm retiring at age 50. So that's why I go so hard to put me and my family in position where we can actually do that and live comfortably and leverage that capital where it can create a residual income to actually take care of us and our lifestyle.
Wow. Nice.
So I just want to thank you guys so much for coming on today.
We
So
appreciate
I
it.
want you guys to plug your stuff again so that people know where to find you, how to find you. Guys,
YouTube page, everything.
I hope that this episode really blesses someone. We've learned so much today about life and how life throws you curveballs. We've learned about the challenges that they face. We've learned about their businesses and how, this business thing, it ain't overnight.
Yeah.
You got to put in work. You got to put in money. You also have to invest in your time. We've also talked about work-life balance. We talked about family and that integration of family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, making time for your families, making time for your spouse and whatever you're doing. And most importantly, I'm glad to have my spouse here today. So you guys plug yourself one more time for the people, just so that everyone knows where to find you, how to find you, how to contact you.
All right, so they can go on our website, which is www.newgenerationinvestmentgroup.com.
Okay.
You can find me on Facebook under Stephanie Clowney.
Mm-hmm.
And also you can find the business, New Generation Investment Group, on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, and also we're starting the YouTube channel on March the 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, just like she said with New Generation Investment Group. Also, if you're ever in South Carolina, in the upstate, visit Fresh Seafood on Main. You can find us online. You can Google seafood, upstate South Carolina. Guaranteed, we're gonna pop up first. Not that. We got some good seafood down there again in South Carolina. Metro Express carriers, same thing. You can Google it. Columbia, South Carolina, we're gonna pop up number one. We're over the road expediting company. If you're owner operator, you're looking to get some traction, some smoke behind your tailpipe, definitely give us a holler on that. We'll keep you rolling. And also New Generation Investment Group. I'm going to start here around the springtime.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start offering my financial literacy class where we actually travel around. So just look us up on social media. You can find me, Stanley Clowney Jr. on social media, New Generation Investment Group. We all over the Google. I mean, you got several ways to get in contact with us.
And if you guys can't find them, let us know.
We'll personally call them for you.
And pass on the information. So, Ronnie, tell the people what we have coming up over the next couple of weeks.
So next week we have Vashti Hurt. We had to cancel a show about 2-3 weeks ago due to my COVID. Mm-hmm. And so she's coming back on the 27th. And then we have Deshaun Spears coming on March the first weekend, first Saturday in March. He's a hairstylist, and he's going to talk about his journey as well. So again, we want to thank you again for coming.
We sure appreciate it.
You guys have been a blessing to our lives, and you bless people today, and we're so thankful to have you.
Yes. And where can people find us, Ronnie?
You can find us on all platforms at Cohort 1986, and you can check out our website at brandedbyparson.com. Again, thank you guys for coming, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Yes.
And do you have any parting words, the Clowney family?
Never stop. I think no matter how bad life gets, just know that, your current situation is not your final destination.
Ooh.
Keep going.
That's it. Keep pushing.
We'll leave on that note.
Guys.
Let the church say amen.
Amen. Bye, y'all.